What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 125 of the Lombard Trucking Show. Thank you all once again for being here. And thank you again for tuning in to last week's episode. Again, you can listen to the Lombard Trucking Show every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Reach Across America Radio on the iHeartRadio network. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Super Coffee. Do you want healthier energy while you're out there over the road? Without the guilt of added sugar, then get yourself some Super Coffee. They've got coffee drinks similar to Starbucks Frappuccinos. They've got Super Coffee Extra. They've got espressos. They're out there removing added sugars from the American diet. Similar to how my mission is to change the culture of health and fitness in the trucking industry, their mission, remove added sugars from the American diet. And they're doing that for you. You can go get Super Coffee. It's available at Quick Trip, but you can always go on Amazon and on your first order, use the discount code Lombard20 to get 20% off that awesome, delicious beverage. But anyways, going into today's episode, got an amazing guest coming on for an interview. An inspiration of mine. When I was still working in a warehouse, I was consuming their content. Huge fan of this gentleman. He's a major positive influence in the trucking industry. Just his overall attitude, his perseverance, just like, and he doesn't skirt around the truth too. He shows the good, the bad, and the ugly of all aspects of his career. But without any further delay, I want to bring him on the show. He's a gosh darn professional flatbedder himself, Mr. Trucking with Tay. What's going on, man?
Dude, come on, dude. I love that intro, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I can't complain. You're about to get loaded right now.
Yes, about to get loaded. I'm over here in Oklahoma, man. Been running all night. About to head up to North Dakota for the weekend. Looking forward to that drive. So heck yeah.
No, that is a peaceful drive. That's good. That's good. Hopefully you get loaded in a timely manner. But yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on here. But let's start right from the top, man. What's the Trucking with Tays story? Kind of bring us up. Where are you from? How'd we get up to today?
Man, dude, I started back in 2018, dude. 2018. I was a salesman. I was a salesman at Pepsi. And I always knew I graduated from college back in 2015. I got my business degree. And I said, man, I one day want to, own my own business. And with Pepsi, I was limited. To growing. I was making maybe $400 to $500 a week, and I'm talking about like I was working a lot of hours. And the thing was, it was like, dude, how can I grow? And I got to looking on YouTube, and I think I saw trucking. I'm like, I ain't never thought about doing trucking. And I love to sleep, dude. I love to sleep. So it's like over the road trucking. It's like, But when I heard about the money, it was just like, okay, let's try this. So I started with Maverick Transportation as I was doing glass. I don't know if you remember back then, dude. I used to break a lot of glass, but it really wasn't my fault. But dude, that glass used to break. But I loved it, dude. I got to see it was the first time I went to Canada, and that was amazing. I was all the way over there in Calgary, and it was just Montreal. It was awesome, dude. And they pay you extra to go up there. So I did that for a year. My second year, I got into flatbed because I knew I couldn't transition the glass because it's so specialized, and it's only a certain amount of companies that can do that specialized glass. I said, look, I see a lot of flatbed companies, and I can do that. So I transferred from the glass division to the flatbed division. When I went to the flatbed division, I stayed there for another year, and I saved up some money, man. The biggest thing when you come into trucking, you gotta have a goal. And I got my daughter was born in 2017. She was born in 2017, and I started trucking in 2018. And I'm like, dude, I can't struggle. I can't let my family struggle. So I went to the other company. After Maverick, I went to another company, the owner operator company, and man, dude, it was history. It was history for me. But before I got there, I can say this for the guys that's watching, for the guys that that works hard, for the guys that got that You know what I'm saying? You can most definitely make it as a company driver because I bought my house when I was a company driver. I wasn't a owner operator. I was a company driver when I bought my house. I was a company driver when I bought my first truck. So it's all about you and you know what I'm saying how hard you work and how much you want it. You don't have to be making fives and $10,000 a week. I was making like $1,500 a week. $2,000 a week. I was a company driver when you know I bought the house. I surprised my wife with the house and the acres and stuff like that. So heck yeah, man.
So that's awesome. So I'm not gonna lie, that glass division stuff. I mean, it's. I like how you separate the two. How like you went from glass division to flatbed because that glass stuff
Yes,
you're still using a step deck trailer.
I do. I do. I
Like
love it. What the glass division, it was a double drop, so it drove so smooth, man. It drove so smooth. But I do step deck now. I do
you got
step deck now, man.
you got the step deck now. Now that glass division, what I'm curious the types of commodities. So who were like the customers? Like where did that like what kind of glass was it? Where was it going?
It was going up to Canada. It was a lot of it going up to Canada, going up to Minnesota. Dude, man, don't make me think that far back, man. That was what 2020 when I did the glass division. I can't even remember the customers, man, but it was the big glass companies. You send it, you take it to the big glass company. They got these big old cranes. They take it off, they cut it up, and then they ship it out to the smaller guys, like the what's that Safeway, Safe Light. Is it Safe Light? And things like that. I think also Pella Glass that makes the doors. They ship it to them as well. So that was, oh my God. You know, that was my first company. So and they got me to where I am today. So I'm thankful for that. But man, dude, that was a good company to work for, dude. It really was. It really was. I left, but it was a really good company to start off with. It really was.
Yeah, no, they look like a good company. I've driven through like right past where their HQ is all the time in Arkansas, and you can always see
Mhm.
you can see guys out there training like what with the tarps.
Yeah.
You'll see them backing up out there, and they've got a nice looking headquarters building. I haven't really heard anything, especially if you're starting out. I think if you're brand new into the industry,
Dude,
I've
do it.
recommended them.
Heck yeah. I say do it. I ain't gonna say it on my channel, but I say do it on like just being honest, because man, I do, man. If you got that drive in you, dude, you can make a lot of money. And then from literally like I did it in 2018 to 2020. Now the pay has went up since I was there. So and they equipment is part none. Part none, dude. Oh my God, the equipment is great. You look, you get a little scratch in your scraps. Look, man, you need new scraps, you need new this, you need new that. All you gotta do is call them. Come get it. Come get it. And then they facilities and it was nice. It was nice. It
No,
really was.
this is good info to know because this is stuff you'll hear about on TikTok, like companies with, when it comes to safety equipment, safety and stuff, especially on LinkedIn, is talked about a lot, especially with Open Deck. I mean, our friend of the show and your friend too, Dooner, all the time on social
Yes,
media,
sir.
he posts rate the
Yeah.
strap work all the time of like unsecured loads. So it's good to know that Maverick will just swap out give
I'm
you new
telling you.
straps. Their trucks are
Telling you.
nice. The trucks are clean. Any Maverick
Yes,
truck I
sir.
see is like shiny, bright red.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't have a bad thing to say about them. So you got your start with them. You got your first truck. When you got your first truck, you leased onto a carrier. You were a contractor to start off. What
Hmm.
uh, what was your first truck?
My first truck was a Peterbilt, 579 Peterbilt. And the thing was, it's like, man, I gotta get something that's red, that's bright. I have to get something that's like that, a name that's really good. And I thought about Peterbilt. I started out with Freightliners, like Maverick got Freightliners. But I said, look, it gotta stick with me. So I got a Peterbilt and it was a good truck, man. It was a really good truck. It was a really good truck. After that truck, I bought me a Freightliner, and that truck was supposed to be a project truck. I really, I got an announcement, that's coming up real soon. But for the guys that's on here, for the guys that watch this video, dude, I'm gonna do a major. If you don't watch this video, this is exclusive freaking like content right now.
Got live viewers on Twitter right now, so
Look,
dropping it.
man, that truck was supposed to be a project truck. Okay, I was gonna put a new motor in that truck. You know the glider and things like that. 12.7. That what I was gonna do with that truck. But as of now, I'm moving on to newer equipment. I just don't want to deal with the fixing things and all that kind of stuff. For the guys that want to do that, that truck is a nice truck. It need a little work done to it, but it's a nice truck. I plan to give the truck away on my YouTube channel, giving away probably like a little raffle or something like that, like a little or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I plan on doing. I ain't never said that online, but that's what I plan on doing with that truck. Maybe like, let my daughter pick the name out the hat or whatever. And I think that'll be awesome. It's a lot of guys that like, hey Tay, let me give you $10,000 for that truck. Let me give you $20,000. It's like, dude, I want to do that for my supporters. You get what I'm saying? Make it special, because they was here when I got the truck and they helped me get the truck. YouTube, like it's been awesome. YouTube and the different people that I work with, like Share Rotella is amazing, dude. Oh, they amazing. The freaking like the contributions they give and me buying the oil and things like that and my people supporting Share it's been amazing. The truck show was amazing. It's just been amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that when it comes to like your content game. Like because you started driving in 2018. What
Mhm.
because when I started this show, a lot of my friends, people outside of trucking, they were like, "Dude, you got to start a show. Like you're running, like you're staying in shape over the road. Like you have to talk about it. Like that's not normal. That's a good positive influence guys need to see out there." And so I kind of like begrudge because I don't necessarily like. Do I like, do everybody likes attention and people like to definitely, everybody loves to talk about themselves. People love to be heard, but I didn't necessarily like want to, because when you do make content, you open yourself up to criticism, which people don't like. So I made the
Yeah.
show anyways. And I was like, look, if one person listens, that's fine. And now but that opened the shell of me posting all my workouts. What made you want to make content and like get into the YouTube game and really hit that hammer?
It was my wife. It was my wife. We started a couples channel a few years before I did trucking, and I said, man, I was loving the feedback that I got, and they say I have honestly, like when I talk to people, they're like, dude, like you just motivate me, and it's honestly I don't be just like now it became that, but I wasn't even trying. I was just being myself. And when they used to say the kitchen lingos, I say the kitchen phrases like give me the energy or we trucking. It's like it was just me and people just like absorb this. I'm just like, we got to keep going with this. And the people, like when people come up to me, like the supporters come up to me, it's like and be happy to see me. I'll be like, dude, it's a different type of feeling. It's really a different type of feeling. It makes you want to just keep growing and keep going. Keep growing and keep going, man. It's just them endorphins inside your body just like go crazy. So heck yeah, man.
Especially, yeah, because your content is overwhelmingly positive. Like, dude,
Yes.
is we trucking like that
It
right there?
is.
Just hearing that, like live in conversation, gives me goosebumps because like that just like it makes people smile and like like when
Yes.
people recognize you in public. I know you were at Matt's, and I'm sorry we didn't run into each other at Matt's, but a gentleman there, he recognized me solely by my hair, and
That's it.
from behind, he's like lumbar trucking. He's like, I know that hair anywhere. And he knew it. And
Heck
like,
yeah.
it is this like wild feeling. But most of the stuff I put out there on TikTok is overwhelmingly positive. It's motivating. It's why you should work out. It's why fitness is important, especially as a driver. And it's the same. You've done that same type of thing and grow that following. And it kind of built up. At what point? Yeah. Was there like a specific turning point where like, because you know how it is with content, you got to, it's a brick by brick, you start off, you get a couple subscribers. When did it really like, was there one specific video or like one thing that went viral? Or because YouTube is where you first really like
Yeah.
that's where the subscribers came in. Was there like one video where that people like glued into, or was it all kind of gradual?
I'm gonna tell you something. From the start, I was watching other YouTubers do content, right? And I'm like, dude, truck drivers, we get into this business to make money. We get into this business to make sure our family's taken care of. So I kind of had an idea of what I was gonna do. talk about money and talk about the company that I was with because I was doing okay. I said, let's get these guys over here because dude, I'm doing good. So I'm like, dude, I can help them do good as well. Soon as I put out how much money I was making from the company I was with Maverick, it was like, dude, we gotta come over there. We gotta come over there. And when I tell you, Maverick got so many drivers off them videos, but it was honest like Maverick being Maverick, they were just paying pretty good, better than the rest, and that was a solid company. I put the money out there, how much I was making a week. I'm talking about within like the first couple of videos, I was getting thousands of views, like 5,000, 6,000 views. So I said, okay. My next video that got me like just, it was when I surprised my wife at their house. When I surprised her with their house, their video is sitting at 1 million views now. Somebody told me a couple of weeks ago that it was sitting at 1 million views. You know, I didn't even know that because at a long time it was sitting at 900 or some thousand or something. I don't watch it like that. You know, I just put out the content. I reply to my subscribers and supporters, and I just let it go. You know, I try to be active as much as I can, and respond back and forth. But I don't just sit there and like just watch the analytics and things like that. I don't do that, man.
Now, I think when you get like, there's so much out there with social media marketing with like looking at the analytics and the data. And I think it's like, and there's Napoleon logic to this. I'm a big Napoleon guy, and like where you spend your time planning, but when it comes time to just doing it, you just got to do it. Like if you just keep focusing on the numbers and like catchphrases and like times, it's like then it misses the mark. It's just all about like, what are you doing right now? Film it, throw it up.
Okay. You said Napoleon. Napoleon think and grow rich.
What's that?
Is that Napoleon think and grow rich, or that's another Napoleon?
No, Napoleon, like the emperor, former emperor of France.
I got you. I read that book and I really liked it, in my spare time truck driving. You got a lot of time to be on that road, so I read that book, man. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, dude.
Dude, I love it. Yeah, that was good in there. But you're crushing it with content. So was Shell Rotella your first sponsor? Were they the first people to did they reach out to you?
Shell wasn't the first sponsor, but I've only worked with a few people. I don't want to open up that gate to just like a lot of sponsorships because I feel like it'll water down the content or whatever, and it's like it'll seem like to the viewers that I'm just doing it for money, and that's not the case. I get a lot of people to reach out, a lot of people. And it'd be awesome to get that feedback and want to be on the channel, but it's like it gotta resonate with my people. It gotta resonate with me. You get what I'm saying? I done turned down a lot of money, a lot of money. Even right now, like you think that will be doing more sponsorships, being that I'm in transition to another and but I don't do like what's the name of the company? The energy. The energy. What's the energy? 5 Hour. That was the first company I ever did something with. It was 5 Hour Energy. Then I did something with Pallet. Pallet was great. And now it's I did something with Indeed and Shell. Shell is Shell right here with me. I can't, yeah, Shell right here with me. Like I love them guys. They reach out, they super awesome. They take care of us. Like I got they treated us really well. We just went to the show. They treat me and my family really well at the show. So
no, that's
every year I'm going back.
Yeah, they work with you as a partnership. So essentially, so for your lubricants, you just primarily use their products and you talk about it.
I do. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I get on these interviews and things like that, this is like I'm not being paid for this. I just like do it out of love for them. I'm not getting paid for this. So it's like, like I love you guys. Like I'm gonna do this for you guys. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not getting paid for this, so it's all out of love.
Now, actually, I want to know about this because there are some fleet owners, and I've had other owner operators on the show. Good, big shout out. You're heading up to North Dakota, and I know in the Dakotas, good friend of the show, Jamie Hagan from Hellbent Express. He's all about. He drives strictly Mack trucks. He's big on fuel mileage and everything like that. When it comes to using Shell Rotella, what's the difference you notice between using Shell or a competitor? Like what are some?
Dude, honestly, I was using mom and pop. I don't want to say the name. I was using mom and pop brand, and I started using Shell. It's like you do those oil samples, or have you ever heard of those oil samples and things? It was like your breakdown deposits in your motor is a lot cleaner. You get what I'm saying? After you know your oil change cycle, I was doing mine every 15 to 20,000. My breakdown deposits, it was like night and day difference from like a mom and pop brand. You get what I'm saying? And I felt comfortable using their oil. You get what I'm saying? It's like, think about it. Shell. Dude, that's a brand that's been around for a long, long time. So it wasn't a second thought to me to, what I'm saying, use them. You get what I'm saying? Now it's just like a natural thing, like, using Penn's oil in my personal vehicle, and telling my buddies to do it as well. So yeah. So when I got
Nice.
it's basically when I got my oil sample sent off and they brought it and they sent it back like, hey, it's the difference in your truck.
Sweet, I got you. So that's good. So anybody listening out there, give Shell Rotella a shot on your truck. See how it works out there. If you have the option
Yeah.
to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So you're using it now. Let's talk about where you're at now. Now you were leased onto a carrier. You've got your own authority now. How's it been for you? We talk about it a bunch on this show. The trucking's in a recession. It's been, it's considered the worst recession in trucking history. The recession has lasted longer than the boom from COVID, one that you probably saw when you first got your truck. Kind of what's it been like, navigating? Because I mean, you started your authority. How long ago did you start your authority? What did you what did you have to work through? Like, what were some of the first, like, who were you working with at first? Because some people don't work with new authorities. How
Right.
did you navigate getting the authority and like navigating through this market?
Right. Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I was working with the carrier that I was with, dude, can I be honest with y'all, man? With dude, it was amazing. Remember, it was amazing, dude. When I say it was amazing, I look, you probably wouldn't even believe me with YouTube, because it was like all tied in. YouTube treated me well during COVID. This trucking company treated me well. Like my supporters from both of them, dude, I made over $500,000. Over $500,000 back in 2021. It was like over $500,000. Now you asked me where that money went. It was in stocks. It wasn't a lot of it was in stocks, but as of now, when I transitioned over from working with them to trying to, what I'm saying, build up a brand, it's been like a rocky road, up and down, up and down. But one thing about it is like you get a peace of mind working for yourself. My daughter name is on the side of my trucks, and it's always that nobody can fire me. You get what I'm saying? And dude, that's amazing feeling within itself. You know, when I first started, I was working with companies like Steam. I love Steam Logistics. Them guys, they call me to this day, like, sending me big loads. Steam Logistics. I went with the other one, like, the TQs and who else, man? It was who else? It was a couple of them, man. I never really worked with what's the name of the company? E EW. What's the name? What's the name of that brokering company? It's called with an E. I can't remember, man. I never really worked with them, but I mainly worked with local, the ones that was in my area, and it just worked out, man. First year I did probably about 240. Last year I did like 230. So it was consistent. As long as you have when you go over to that area, when you switch over, just make sure your equipment is up to par, man. If you don't have no money setback, I had a few dollars setback. If you don't have no money setback and your equipment is not up to par, you will fail. You will fail. So just keep that in mind for the guys that's watching that. that want to eventually make that transition from a company driver to a owner operator or a fleet owner. Let's make sure you put a couple dollars back and make sure your equipment is up to par, man. Cause like, dude, that can make and break you, and that'll be a whole nother topic. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd say equipment is probably more now than ever, especially
Thank you.
because, I mean, in 2024, way different than probably what it was in 2014. I've had guys on the show, owner operators who own trucking. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, getting parts was easier. Working on your truck was easier yourself, fixing stuff. And so now if your equipment, you almost have to, there's almost this like Goldilocks zone of where you need to be in with the truck, where, there's a couple accounts I follow, the guys from Blue Ribbon Logistics, like they run pre-emissions, they run pre-2007, and they're able to work on it themselves. Like you almost need to be in this Goldilocks conditions of year, make, and model of the truck, engines, and because once you keep it within those specs, like you're basically, you can figure out how your maintenance costs can go from there. But I mean, it can't be stressed enough. Like it's good to hear you say like, have good equipment and have money saved away, because you go on Facebook, you go on, especially Facebook. I'm in so many trucking groups, and there's always guys like really thinking about making the jump to owner operator. I have no money down and stuff, and I'm looking to get a truck, and like they just, and I'm curious like where, like who's ever started a business with no money down and everything, and it's just like you're almost setting yourself up for failure. But you brought up something really interesting. You worked with brokers around your local area.
Yes. Yes.
So did you, like, how'd you get a hold of them? Did they find you? I'm curious, like, did your YouTube channel get business your way from broke?
Yes, yes. That, and also when you deliver to somewhere, and they some guys, they just like how you work. If you're a hard worker, and let's just say, my 2.5 tarper, my 2.5 second tarper. If I pull up and they like, dude, like that looks really nice, or that truck looks really shiny. It's just the way you present your business. You get what I'm saying? And I work really hard, and it's like, hey, you got a business card, and there you go. And that could be one of my direct contracts, or direct contacts right there. So it's a guy that I found. I found him on the load board, and man, like we built a connection, and dude, I can go like 70 miles down the road and make $700. And this guy is giving me 3 and 4 loads a week. I can do 2 or 3 of them in a day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's awesome being your own carrier. It really is. And now I will say this: I got an older truck and I got a new truck. Now, if you know the ins and outs of your older truck and it's working for you, do it. But me trying to be fuel efficient and try to run a business where I'm not on the side of the road, because I never broke down on the side of the road as far as motor and transmission with my older truck. It was always a starter. That's the only issue I really had with that truck. But I feel like the bigger companies, they go new for a reason. You get what I'm saying? They get the tax breaks for a reason. You get what I'm saying? They switch out those trucks 400 and 500 miles for a reason with warranty. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's where I want to head to. That's the route I'm going. So
The route you're going is going new.
New.
That's so
New. Like within like 100 to 200,000 miles. Like try to keep it within there. Like not so much to the new as like coming off the showroom floor, because I haven't built that far up yet. You get what I'm saying? But when I build that far up, it's like, yeah, I most definitely want to order trucks. And because like, dude, I'm in a brand new truck right now. And for a driver to have that peace of mind in a brand new truck, and everything is pretty much you the first one sitting there, dude, you're gonna keep drivers longer that way. You're gonna keep drivers happier that way. And you're gonna save money down the line with fuel efficiency as well. So it's a method to the madness what they're doing.
No, I think it's commendable what you're doing. You built the brand, and this is smart. And if for anybody who follows this guy, Alex Hormozy, he's talked about this when it comes to building a business, what's easier, pushing the rock up a mountain, or pushing a rock that's already on top of the mountain down it. And so you essentially built the brand and the business before you even had your own authority. And from there, once you had the actual business, the business was ready to come with you.
Yes,
Which I think is like amazing content to get out there to anybody, because a good friend of the show, Reed, former broker, he works for Truck Parking Club. He mentions this. He mentions this all the time about these building of relationships. Another thing you said, you had a good experience on the load board, and you kept talking with them. And during COVID, a lot of people had good experiences with people, and then they never called them again. But you stuck with these people. And actually, before because I got another question for you about what comes next. I'm curious, have you, because like I love knowing where people stand on truck parking, because it's always an issue. And have you heard of Truck Parking Club by any chance?
Truck Parking Club? No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's a research. I mean, figured I'd put it out there for you. But if you look up, if you go to truckparkingclub.com, they're essentially like an Airbnb for truck parking. Like, so they work with real estate owners. They work with real estate owners, people with underutilized real estate, to use as truck parking, like tow yards.
You about ready?
You're about done getting almost loaded?
Yeah, I'm about to get ready to get loaded, man. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no worries. How much time you got?
Now? About to get loaded now? Yeah, well, they actually started loading. Okay. Yeah, about to go out there and check it and get loaded now, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, I figure I'd wrap it up. Check out Truck Parking Club. You might figure it out because I don't know if you've ever run into any issues out there when you're trying to park, like, because I know parking's sometimes an issue for you. Have you run into any parking problems?
Hello. You cut out,
Yeah.
bro. You said what?
I was saying, you run into any parking issues while you're out there?
No. Honestly.
Oh, cut out on me.
Oh, shoot.
There he is. He's back.
I'm sorry. I was getting a call. Northeast, I run into problems, but I typically try to stay down south. Like Texas and Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, things like that. But a lot of times I don't run into parking issues. So like, if I'm ever up that way, then I have issues. But like when I'm in the Midwest, a lot of times I be smooth.
Okay, no, that's good to hear. I've commended the Midwest. Yeah, the Midwest and South is where you're going to find the most real estate. But I know you're about to get loaded. I figured before we sign off, yeah, is that you said you want to get new. You mentioned drivers. Is that what's the next couple of years look like? What's the future look like for Trucking with Tay?
Man, dude, honestly, I would love to keep building, get new trucks, and I want to one day have me a personal building, to get some land, buy some land, and get my own building. Like that would be the ultimate goal for me, and have my wife in the office and my aunt in the office, because she do administrative work, and dude, that would be the goal. Have me a big old shop and have about max 10 drivers. I wouldn't have no more than 10 drivers, because, dude, I want to keep my hair, dude. I want to keep my hair, dude. I don't want my hair to fall out, man.
Okay, so you don't have 100. You don't have 100, 500 trucks on your radar.
No. I just want to be comfortable, man. Make sure that my daughters, I can put my daughters through college, and make sure that I can take her home. I don't have to get rich off trucking, So that's my goal.
Yeah. So HQ you're willing to set up, and where does that where do you want that HQ?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
Memphis, Tennessee, man. Heck yeah, it's a great market for flatbed. Blytheville, Arkansas, it's a great market. So I'm right there in the area,
Good.
So,
And yeah, you're at a major freight crossroads. That's a really good market to be in, dude. I love that, man. But I know you're about to get loaded, before you sign off. So, I mean, quick recap. You're going to raffle off a truck on your YouTube channel. So anybody listening, go subscribe to Trucking with Tay on YouTube, and be on the lookout for that. And where else can the people find you? It's Trucking with Tay on YouTube, Trucking with Tay everywhere?
Trucking with Tay everywhere, man. Instagram, YouTube, And I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, dude. I started posting a lot of videos, but and I'm gonna start back. I'm gonna start back. I see all my notifications on TikTok. Just know that, guys. And I'm gonna be more active on TikTok because I love my YouTube. That's where I started it. YouTube, Instagram. I'm gonna be more active on TikTok. I promise. So yeah, trucking with Tay everywhere.
Perfect, man. Dude, thanks a lot for coming on. Get loaded out there. Make sure you post a picture of your tarp job or the strap work once you get loaded.
I got you, man. I will, man.
All right,
Thank you, guys, man.
we'll take care.
All right, buddy.
Well, guys, that'll do it for episode 125. Thank you once again for tuning in. Really big shout out to Trucking with Tay for jumping on the show here, especially while he was in the middle of getting loaded. Fantastic story. Big takeaways right there. And this is something that one of the first things Reed said when he came on the show and he posts about this on LinkedIn quite often, like, do carriers market? I mean, you're looking at a prime example of why a motor carrier should be into marketing. And a lot of times when it comes to business, marketing does cost money. Like if you're looking to advertise, but in this day and age in 2024, marketing is this podcast show I have using StreamYard, and StreamYard has multiple levels. You could use StreamYard for free. It's also the ability to be able to use Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok just to brand yourself. And that's the thing. And when you're out there on the internet, and I've mentioned this before when it comes to social media, like how toxic social media is, and it's full of polarization and all this other, nonsense. I'll continue to say this, but the use of social media and content creation, think of it like the environment, essentially. If you live next to a river and your kids drink from that river, are you going to willingly dump your garbage and oil into that river and then you want your kids to drink from it? No. Start using the internet with that same type of attitude, with that same type of having that reflection, like knowing that what you put out there is what people are going to get. So if you're constantly putting negativity, polarization, why everyone else is wrong for not agreeing with you, that sort of rhetoric and logic, then how can you expect the world to improve or become a better place? But when you're a gentleman like Tay, he goes on there and he's just himself. He's not out there bad mouthing people. He talks about the bad times. If you go and watch his videos, he talks about times where he struggled and has had to make, tough decisions as he goes through it. And I don't want to speak for him, but he doesn't skirt around the truth. Kind of like I was saying, he shows what it is. He doesn't present it. He doesn't give any sort of outlandish, he doesn't need to give any sort of opinions about political offices and stuff and the culture wars or go off on tangents. Just doing it as is because it has to do with his brand, his company. So as a motor carrier, you can do the same. If you're a 1 truck or 10 truck fleet, make those videos. What it can cost you is just time. It will cost you time. You have to put in the effort to do it. Maybe a few extra bucks if you get yourself a tripod. But that right there is a story of the value of marketing, self-marketing, talking about yourself. And some of it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit of ego. And like I said, I didn't want to necessarily start this show because I didn't want to put myself out there, open myself up to criticism and everything. But when you realize that all that's a farce, and when you stop caring about the opinions of others, especially because what I'm talking about isn't anything crazy. Mainly what I talk about is gassing up the homies and working out. If anybody's really critical of that, then it's not really worth any time. So, I mean, and you see, he's successful for it. He's forward thinking. He's out there helping people. He's a positive influence. Like when drivers see him at truck stops, when he's out there engaging with the public, he makes their day. And it's just super inspiring to me to also want to rise to that occasion to where I want to be somebody, if they recognize me in public, that it makes their day. And I think that to anybody watching, that's always who we should be trying to strive to be, is being the person that if somebody sees you out in public and maybe you don't know them, but they know you, it makes their day. They don't look at you and say, it's that guy, he's always complaining. He's always going through this, but just some random thoughts to take it out there. He's a great guy. Definitely go follow him, support his channels. I guess Shell Rotella is top dog out there for oil. So, I mean, drop it in the comments or feel free to give some feedback on what you're using for all your oil and lubrication needs. Is Shell Rotella top dog? I don't know. If you have another product that you think is better, hit me up. Let's come on the show. Let's just talk about nothing but oil and lubricants. We should probably get an oil and lube guy on the show, talk about some of that stuff, really go into the inside baseball on that. But other than that, guys, really appreciate you tuning in today. At time of recording, it's a Friday. So if you're out there, have a great, fantastic weekend. More to come. On the lookout. There's, the training load is ramped up. We're almost just over a month out from the Waco 70.3. Kind of battling a little bit of a nerve issue that I had in my hip, a little nerve thing, but we're training through it. We're going through it. You know where to find me, anywhere at Lombard Trucking. If you want to come on the show, have a conversation, tell your story. Again, drivers out there, your story is the most valuable. You are the largest, whether you like it or not. Truck drivers are the largest stakeholder of the transportation industry. The industry grounds to a halt if the wheels of trucks stop turning. If the brokers don't show up to work, the truckers will still keep it moving, so to speak. No offense to any of the brokers out there listening who may have been offended, but if there's certain people who can't show up to work and the job will still get done, and it's the drivers who remain the largest stakeholder, and the people who certainly deserve better, deserve more, deserve a better environment, especially to keep their bodies healthy, keep their minds, in the right attitude and feeling good and feeling, fired up out there. Again, and I also want to reiterate to anybody out there who does want to make a change regarding their health, their fitness, they're looking to, make that pivot, that 90-degree turn, and get after it. Again, my doors are always open to do that. But before we sign off, again, hey, we're raising money for Wreaths Across America. That link, wreathsacrossamerica.org/Lombard. One wreath is $17. But if you, the trucking company you work for, or the brokerage you work for, or any company, your employer wants to align themselves with an awesome nonprofit and a gentleman like myself who's running this, who's raising money for a certain mission and cause out there that is to make the world a better place, then hit up your employer. Be like, hey, I really think this is something we should be involved in. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it. We're going back to the bench. Take care.